Hello and welcome to another VR games review vlog from Oculus Hut. I'm Gia, your guide today. As you guys seem insatiable when it comes to virtual reality gaming, today I have 15 new VR games and experiences to take you through, all of which were designed and created specifically for use with the Oculus Rift headset. Let's start off with a modern take on the ancient tradition of storytelling by a fireside. Storyteller is an immersive VR audiobook player, so that listening to audiobooks feels like having a story told by someone next to you. You can either listen to one of the included H.P. Lovecraft works or use your own audio file. There are nice environmental touches too. Directional sound and the use of echoes really do enrich the experience of being in a cavernous space. The crackling fire and the birds in the distance add fantastic whimsy to the soundscape. This is still a beta though. There are still some oddities apparent, like not having a visible body, and I felt like I wanted to sit further away from that hermit or even sit on the floor. But I can tell that the developer is going to add more features, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed for a Teddy Ruxpin bear and hot chocolate in bed, rather than sitting on a rock staring at a hermit with no respect for personal body space. You may want to check out the 90s classic What Is Love by Hadaway to get in the mood for this one. I have a link to both the original music video and the download website below, so keep watching and add this one to your to-do list. This Oculus DK2 exclusive game was created by Holden Link and Nick Vasconcelos. The concept is similar to Dance Dance Revolution or Guitar Hero, but this time you use your head movements to follow the dance instructions using moves they call peck, nod and shrug. This one could be great fun for a party. Ooh, multiplayer for Bohemian Rhapsody? Come on, please make it. Sure, there may be some neck strain involved, but it seemed worth it to me. Oh, and nice touch with the police car following us, very 1990s. Oddly, I find myself pecking my head like a dweeb whenever I hear this song nowadays. Visit the retro nightsattheroculus.com website to download for free. Good job with the GeoCities link. Anybody who has tried to demo the DK2 to a large group of people will have asked themselves, which demo do I show first? Well, here it is. Welcome to Oculus is well written and provides a context for virtual reality, as well as showing off some of the features that are unique to VR. The environments are good quality and the audience is given a demo of what it means to feel immersed in virtual spaces of varying size and purpose. The player gets to experience everything from a small grotty bedsit to the infinity of space. You also get taken through the experiences of cinema going in VR, a horror scenario, which all too powerfully demonstrates how to scare the bejesus out of you using Slender Man, and a comfortable space such as a living room to be used for less frightening activities such as watching TV and playing console games. The demo ends with epic music and audio that hopefully leaves your audience excited for the potential VR offers. I certainly got caught up in the blue skies aspiration of the experience. Very inspiring and beautifully timed. The only downside I spotted was that the voiceover could have been better. It sounded a little robotic. Other than that, I thought that this was perfect for demonstrating the scope of VR to lots of people at once. Oh, and get in touch, Traytech, if you need a new voiceover artist.
And after a few false starts, it appears it is finally becoming what everyone had hoped it could be.
The RPG Room Tech demo was created by Gerald Tavine from Germany. You can download this on the Oculus VR Share website. What was interesting in this demo is how I found myself reacting to the same 3D game asset when viewed from two perspectives. When viewed from a third-person mode with the model scaled down, I felt as if I was looking at a highly intricate and delicate doll's house. When in first-person mode, and with the model scaled up to life-size, it felt just like other FPS. I felt much more impressed with the third-person mode and looking at the small model than I did using the first-person mode, which made me feel a little queasy. I do have a soft spot for real-time strategy games like StarCraft, so maybe I am biased in this area. It will be interesting to see what comes along next in that space. This demo also reminded me a little of the DK2 demo from the UE4 team and an Oculus DK1 demo by Teddy0K called Hydra Deck. Link for this is in the description below. Café Am. This is a beautiful and atmospheric demo. A treat for the Isaac Asimov fans amongst you. The graphics still felt a tad blurry, but I kept on moving outside of the positional tracking range of the DK2. But the quality of the 3D assets, directional sound, and the way that this has been carefully crafted results in a coherent and beautiful environment. From a technical point of view, it was interesting to see how this demo made use of the 3 fixed points, your 2 arms pinned to the table and then your head position, to try and extrapolate the likely position of your arms and body in real life. This did not work perfectly in the demo, but provided a glimpse into what full body position tracking may bring to VR. Added immersion. Lastly, don't try this one if you're in a melancholy mood already. This one will leave you wanting to don sunglasses, sip black coffee and smoke a cigarette, moodily. Paul Michael DeMarco's Lord of the Rings demo, The Great River, places you in a canoe paddling up or down the Great River of Gondor, which is the Anduin. Now, I just have to say that I personally am a massive fan of The Lord of the Rings, so I was incredibly excited to try this one out. Anybody who knows me will also know that I am very critical of anything which claims to be a beautiful representation of Middle-earth, including the films when they first came out. Anyway, it's difficult to be objective here is all I'm trying to point out. This demo is perhaps a great one to bring up ahead of the 3rd part of the Hobbit trilogy, which will be coming out in December this year. The water in this demo was very realistic and the Argonath statues were impressive in scale. The transition in music as the mood changes, which is a staple in modern games, also worked very well. There was, however, a smoggy feeling about the visuals, and I wonder if this is the anti-aliasing that John Carmack was warning everybody about at the Oculus Connect conference. Anyway, you must check this one out. It'll be interesting to see what other Lord of the Rings experiences can offer us. This project has been brought to you by Juan Jose Luna Espinosa, aka Yobo Prime, and can be downloaded from SourceForge. This is a Spectrum simulator. It's not the most famous 16K, 48K Spectrum with the rubber keypads, but a ZX Spectrum. But a ZX Spectrum 128+2. The Plus 2 was created by Amstrad after they purchased the Spectrum brand in 1986. This demo places you in a bedroom in either the late 80s or the early 90s, and the simulator is fully functional. Yes, it actually works. It's a system within a system, conveniently integrated with the World of Spectrum website, so you can pull in games directly and load them up. A must-try for die-hard Spectrum buffs. Space 1999. In the mid to late 1970s, a UK TV show called Space 1999 ran for 2 seasons. I am not familiar with the show myself, but I can see from the Facebook page of the creators that this is going to get the tender loving care of a few talented individuals, and it is going to continue to grow in richness because they appear to be absolutely, totally bonkers about this show. The moon buggy made me feel pretty sick after a while though, but I would love to check out more of those spaceships. Viewport architecture. This next demo has been created by Viewport. It is highly polished and features art assets that wouldn't be out of place in a AAA gaming title. You're able to walk around the environment and control your character from the first person using an Xbox controller. Some of the items within the demo are also interactive. Aside from the fantastic visuals, one of the nice visual touches is the animation of the in-game hand, which controls the Xbox controller whilst you hit the keys in real life. This may seem insignificant when watching this video from a regular screen, but it does feel more natural when you're viewing via the DK2 and using a wireless Xbox controller. For some reason, I felt particularly motion sick whilst using this demo, and the visuals were kind of blurry, perhaps the amount of objects and detail that are moving within the space, since the ceilings are fairly low, and perhaps the anti-aliasing is to blame again. Anyhow, once these kinks have been ironed out, there are many obvious uses for these types of visualizations within various industries. The promise of full positional tracking within open spaces is in the pipeline here, and there are methods to navigate to space in a non-motion sickness inducing way, even without full positional tracking. Will fully footed show homes be a thing of the past if we can produce this kind of experience with the kinks ironed out? I wonder. LMD has been created by John Dadley. It's a procedurally generated low-poly world. This means that certain elements of the game world are generated dynamically. This is similar to how Minecraft dynamically generates new areas of its map. Within the game, you race around following a ghostly ball of light, which then leads you to a portal. You go through the portal and end up in a new world. The process then repeats itself. This demo has a good atmosphere and the music is pretty cool. The low-poly graphics make the experience feel relaxed, simple, and yet mystical. Whizzing around at significant speeds was a little motion-sick inducing, but far less than I expected. I have a feeling that this had something to do with the fact that the movements happened in open spaces, and the black sky meant that much of what I could see was not actually moving rapidly. Interesting stuff. Check it out. So, most of you with DK2s are likely to have identified some individuals who claim to be immune to motion sickness. Well, if that's the case, then challenge them to try out the cyberspace ride. I see this as a challenge experience. It's more intense than the previous rollercoaster simulations I've tried. The demo also includes 4 soundtracks, and the volume of the music changes depending on how far you are from the speakers located at the base of the ride. Thrilling, sickening, and most of all, hilarious for everybody watching. This is just like the real thing. Go to the Rift Away website and try this out for free. Good luck! Cityscape. Created by Hexagon99, aka Peter James Fisher, you get a real sense of how small the space is in this demo. But the stereo effects and the sounds are very good. The electricity sounds are particularly worthy of note. In many ways, it put me in mind of a small neon prison, and I felt somewhat trapped in a kind of strange Tron-like world. Okay, so I have 3 more demos left, which I would like to share with you. These are less polished than the ones I have shown so far, but I thought that it was important to show these ones too, as I think they are signs that Oculus has generated so much enthusiasm within the indie gaming community that we're getting a flood of new developers who are learning skills and trying what's necessary to create the next amazing experiences and games for VR. The beta for Blast Buster can be found in the Oculus Share website, and is from Hydrangea. It's a casual shoot 'em up. The game is still quite simple and feels embryonic. It does make you question whether or not the blast 'em up genre needs a rethink within VR, and what can be done to make the experience more engaging. Nonetheless, it is good to see the developers try out their various ideas, and it will be interesting to see if they can come up with a successful way of translating this genre into VR. Chilling Space. This is made by the same guys who made Cyberspace. You float in space and shoot at asteroids whilst accompanied by interesting music. Horse Farm. Check out the developer forums for a copy of Horse Farm. This is a riding demo for the horse lovers amongst you. Essentially, you're in a very large open green field and you get to just ride around on a horse. The potential for really experiencing the exhilarating nature of horse riding is there, but I think the developers probably need to put a bit more detail in. Thanks for watching. Check out the VR Web YouTube series if you're interested in how virtual reality and the web may work in the future, and look out for more VR related news, views, reviews and tutorials. Please subscribe and please like.